What's up, guys? Be kind of sharing as we get started. But what we're going to talk to, or sorry, what we're going to talk about today is going to be online etiquette. All right. Hopefully, we don't get bad on our end with it. But basically, we dealt with a trainer shit talking, and then I was like, "Hey, man, if you want to talk about what training is, please." Show me your resume. Hmm. This going out to everything right now.
I've shared.
Oh, were you able to share it?
I was able to share it once we went live.
Okay, yeah, cool. It's just not updating on my end. All right. But yeah, basically this dude, Andy the gun guy, Andrew Hallinan, he just did a very simple video. Okay. I don't want to take it like exaggerate anything. But basically it was like what do you say exactly? Like I would who even calls this firearm training? Something like
Yeah,
that.
for those who don't know, there's a video. Every guy and their grandmother has shared it now at this point of one of Sonny's classes and one drill that Sonny does. With just a downrange drills, just general, nothing over the top.
It's actually a pretty easy one. I would consider it one of the easier ones.
It's definitely one of his easier drills. Oh no, here it is.
Yeah,
Oh
and
dear
so
heavens!
that's all it is. Is like Sonny's next to the target, and then he's got a dude walking forward and then walking backward, shooting the target. He's getting lightly nudged. Now, as you can see, they're actually following all 4 firearm safety rules through the drill, doing it at a very controlled pace.
I'm terrified. This is spookily.
And it was like 3 or 4 shots, maybe for the
5.
whole drill. Yeah,
I don't know. I
maybe.
can't count, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, so it's like it's a very, very simple drill. Now, I get it, if that scares you or whatever, but and actually I still need to put together the video on why these are 100% necessary, but the basic thing for why are you doing that is if sorry, I got a thing I'm dealing with on my screen. If shooting past a living, breathing human being scares you, imagine what it'll be like when people are shooting at you, right? So it's basically like, man, should probably have done that before you go to stop an active shooter at the school or have to shoot a guy at the gas station or something, because it's scary, right?
Or interact with the homeless dude with a knife.
Yeah. But anyway, so the dude was like, who'd ever call this firearm training? And then he plays that video, says something. He just does like really
It's
short
just that,
clips.
and then it's just playing the video. That was it. That's all he
Yeah,
did.
yeah, that's all it is.
He,
But
he, he obviously did it for viewer generations. Like,
yeah.
hey, look at me. I'm a cool guy like you, fellow gun guys. I also find this spooky and scary. And then he received, I would say, a minuscule amount of pushback.
Yeah, it was like the worst thing was our friend Josh was like, "Hey, what about this picture?" Which I'll get to later. Where he's pointing a gun at the dude flying a helicopter. We'll get to that, but I was like, "Hey, man, if you're gonna talk about what training is, please show me your training resume." And I probably still have like screenshots of the conversation if we need to get into that, but try to keep it very professional, because that's the way I believe if we're going to disagree on a subject, that's how we should approach it. Like, I'm like, if you say a thing about a thing, then it should probably be a direct message like, hey, man, I disagree with you, or what do you really mean by that? But if you're going to post a video of another dude, then I'm fine with going in the comments about it. I think that's fair, right? If you're going to openly criticize someone, like someone else who's not there to defend themselves, then I think we can do that in the comments. Still keeping it professional. But anyway, so we did that, and he ended up blocking a lot of us. Now he has another Facebook profile.
Oh, Andrew froze. Damn. we all blow really hard on the screen, it'll blow some internet his way.
Okay. There we go. All right.
There you go.
Anyways.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah. Try to keep it respectful. And then when I was like, hey, let me see your training resume. If you're going to talk about what training is, I want to know what training you've done. He didn't show it to me, and then ended up blocking me. And then I had commented on Instagram saying the same thing, like, hey, if you want to talk about what training is, what training have you done? And blocked me on Instagram. And then there's another group, Professional Firearms Trainers, I think is the name of it. It's a Facebook group for firearms instructors. And I said, I tagged him, one of his Facebook profiles that I don't think he's blocked me on yet. I said, hey, what training have you had? Like, if, same thing. Try to keep it respectful, not going off and becoming internet degenerate, because all outrage.
There'll be enough of that.
Yeah. All outrage is fake and gay. Also, that's a big part of it, right? And I get why everyone's scared of that drill. But anyway, so it hasn't shown a training resume. So what I'm offering, anyone who can find the official training resume for Andrew Hallinan, Andy the gun guy, like a posted one. If you do find clips or whatever, I would like to know, basically from what I gather, he's an NRA trained counselor, which if you guys understand the NRA pyramid scheme, it's like you take the class, and then you take the instructor class. You can get that done in 4 days very easily. In fact, I've sent students through that just so they can, get their cert to give people permits and get better range access and stuff. But you take the class, you take the instructor level class. Then if you do enough classes as an instructor, you can become a trained counselor. Now, that's the way it's supposed to be done. I will also say, I don't trust that all NRA trained counselors, or any organization, not trying to shit on the NRA, I don't trust that they've actually done the work. Okay. I personally have been offered, like, you want this cert, you want that cert, like, I can hook you up with it. I don't care about that, so I denied it. But I definitely know of people that have taken that. They got all the credentials and, they're trained counselors, but they didn't actually do the proper things to earn that. Okay. That's a real thing, just like it is anywhere. Certified doesn't really mean that much when every other person is certified. Anyways, not saying that's what Andrew did. From what I gather, he's an NRA trained counselor, and basically you have to become an instructor and then do a bunch of classes to get that. But there is not a posted training resume anywhere. So I put mine in the comments for anyone who's interested. Tom also did, for anyone who's interested, because if we're going to ask for that, we should be able to show that too. That's integrity. But yeah, I'm offering $1,000 training credit for anyone who can find me the official Andrew Hallinan training resume. Like, where is it posted? Because I looked everywhere, and that was one of his comments. He's like, just Google me, bro. I'm like, I did. I looked at all your websites that I could find.
His greatest claim to fame is he banned Muslims from his gun shop back in 2015.
Yeah. Which I remember seeing the video, and I was like,
I remember that. I'm like, wow, that's really stupid.
Like, you know what? I'm like, I support it. It's not, well, I support it. I'm not like, like a big old anti-Muslim racist or anything, but I'm like, yeah, man, like, I get it. Scare jihad and stuff, and I think you should be able to deny service to anyone. But his biggest claim to fame right now isn't even that. It's the pro.
Now his stuff. Claim is, what is it? 30,000, 300,000, 3,000.
Yeah.
3. Some number of people have gone through his safety course, and he's outperforming. Like,
so on that note, I'm going to pull up, since we're going to talk about safety. I would like
hang on. I want to address comments.
Okay, but I'm going to pull up a video.
Let's see. Yeah, he blocks people who give him any sort of pushback, and we'll get to that, what he's done to me here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, probably share. share our video while we're at it. Now he'll probably if he sees this, he'll probably
Rich, as far as I know, nobody has come forward to say that he has some legendary amount of training. He just seems to be a cheerleader. He'll just say the things that people all consensusly agree upon, and then he leaves it at that. If you're still in his audience somehow and you didn't get blocked for slightly disagreeing with you or him.
So if I search Andy the gun guy safety,
Pure Ballistics says he can make an official one and send it to you. So because he wants money.
Who said that?
Pure Ballistics
said he can make an official what?
An official training resume.
I need to see the posted one. That doesn't count, obviously.
We have to be able to confirm. He has to be able to confirm it.
I don't want to be on a documentary like Pepsi, Where's My Jet someday, but yeah, it has to be one he posted. Okay, let me try. Hang on, I found it. I wish I had it pulled up already.
Mr. DeWalt says that he saw a podcast where he said he got his first gun and became an instructor the same weekend. So, real quick. This came from Paul Markle a long time ago. I was listening to Paul's podcast. And he was talking about people who call themselves the gun guy. Paul said these guys, they know nothing. They're just the one in their group of friends that knows more.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they know anything.
Exactly.
Just in this small pool of people, this is the guy that knows the most. And usually what will happen is everyone goes to him and says, "Hey, gun guy, tell me about all this stuff." And then they wind up getting this overinflated sense of ego and they think, "I know everything." And then they go and make Facebook profiles and start trying to teach people.
Okay. All right. Now, let's save reading comments towards the end because it ends up being not what I want to do.
Oh no, I was going to read the comments. You can set up whatever it is you wanted to set up. I'm helping you produce an entertaining show.
I got you. I'm just saying from this point forward, we're gonna focus. Just keep talking, and then we'll get to that in a minute.
Don't rebuke me.
So I'm not rebuking you. Calm the fuck down. Stop pulling your hair out, Tom.
Tweezers.
Now, so we're talking about gun safety, right? And what is safe and not safe. Now, first off, anyone who hasn't seen it already, please watch. Watch the last two videos I posted, but also watch the video I did on the word safe, because I mean, you can think about it right now, but what's the definition of the word safe? If we're going to use that word to talk about safety and what is and is not safe, you should probably know what that fucking word means. Hence, most people don't know what that word means. But anyways,
definitions and stuff, dude.
So 4 firearm safety rules. Number 1, treat every gun as loaded. Number 2, keep your gun pointing in a safe direction. Number 3, keep your finger straight off the trigger and high out of the trigger guard until your gun is aimed at the target and you've made a conscious decision to shoot. Number 4, know your target, what's in between you and the target, around the target, and beyond. Kind of like that drill where Sonny's standing next to the target. Rule number 4 applies there, actually applies there. Rule number 2 applies there, Anyways,
I like my version better.
Go ahead.
Close your eyes and spin.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm practicing that every day. Every day. In my front yard, dude. All right. So he's got a firearm safety video. And this is a funny thing. I saw it also from that active self-protection guy. I forget his name. But he had posted the same, and he had posted safety rules, and he does these same ones as well. I'll just say,
I love that people had to come in and say, you know what? There's too many rules here.
Stop reading comments.
No, I wasn't reading comments. I was just making a statement about. Oh gosh,
that guy. I'm just yelling at you. That's all. Sorry.
I know you.
All right, here we go.
What the fuck?
So this is the dude.
Basics with the 3 rules of safe gun handling.
Hey, did we hear that?
Hey guys, this is Andy the Gun Guy, and it's time to go back to basics with the 3 rules of safe gun handling.
Okay, so 3 rules, right? So we're saying there's only 3 rules, as in, you know, there's not 4. So it's one of these.
Which one's
Tree every gun
missing?
is
Hang on, go
loaded.
back real quick. Go back to the
Hang
beginning so I can read the
on,
sign.
hang on. Tree every gun is loaded. Safe direction. Finger off the trigger. Know your target. What's in between, around, and beyond. One of those doesn't matter. Isn't a real rule, apparently. Okay. So that's where we're at. There's only 3 rules. Now there's some clips, you know, and it's like gun fail type stuff. So
all right. Always.
right
There
here.
we go.
He'll tell him. Don't worry about that. He'll tell him.
All right.
Rule number 1 says always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction.
Good. I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah. That is one of the rules.
Okay. You should.
I wouldn't say always, because it's kind of hard to do a hostage.
Well, safe is relative.
It's kind of hard to do a hostage shot, you know.
Yeah.
Without flagging the hostage.
It's going to be the safest direction reasonably.
Okay.
Right? If I'm downstairs, I want to point the gun down. If I'm upstairs, I want to point the gun up, right? Sure. Boats and helicopters, all this stuff. It's all contextual.
All right. And then there's a bunch of other clips of stuff. And here we go. Wait, is that really? He just does. Okay. I have seen this video. Tom has not.
I've not. This is blind.
All right. So second.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's not. So safe direction is pretty much defined as any place that if you point your gun at it and blow it up, it's okay. Dirt.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, sure.
Oh my God.
Your target. A designated place in your home that you know nobody is going to be on the other side of. And if you don't have a safe direction in your home, you've got paper walls like this.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Oh my God.
What?
I read the sign.
Yeah. Stop reacting. Just listen to him talk. It'll be okay. We'll get to the good part.
Again, you would think that this would be pretty self-explanatory, but it's not. So I've taken apart a Smith & Wesson M&P.
Wait, hang on. What did
he's got the extra tape.
Now, again, you would think that this would be pretty self-explanatory, but it's not. So I've taken apart a Smith & Wesson M&P Easy, and even.
All right. You don't have to take apart a gun to demonstrate how to handle a gun.
You know, you got fingers, right? You just do it like that.
Yeah, but you could just use a gun. For those of you who don't know, like, unless I'm doing a thing to the gun that requires me not shooting inside this room, every time you see me handle a gun in my YouTube videos, it's loaded. They're always loaded. Okay. Not saying you have to do that, but like, you know, you don't have to take it apart. You know, it's one of those things where it's competency versus safety. Like, if I have to disassemble my gun to be safe with it, how safe am I with guns? You know, just a, you know, little critique, but you can do it however you want, and that's fine.
Even though there's nobody over here, it's just
right. So we're gonna make sure that
our empty frame is unloaded, and
but he did say there's nobody over there, right? That would be a rule number 4, right? No, your target.
You're missing 90% of what makes a gun, but sure, there's no one down that direction for him.
All right. Now, and I'm not trying to turn this into like a sarcasm thing, but like,
I'm not trying to be sarcastic.
I'm not saying that, Tom. I'm talking to the audience. I'm saying I'm not trying to turn this into a sarcastic thing. This is just some notes on it. By the way, I did invite him to come on and do a live stream with me sometime, and he lives 15 minutes from me. Like, his house is on Google Maps as his place of business, but he didn't do it, you know. And I wouldn't treat him like shit when he's here either. I wouldn't do that. I'm not trying to do that.
Pointing a frame instead of an actual put together firearm. The place that we want to keep our finger is on the frame of the gun. And a lot of people think, you know, that.
So frame. Okay.
I'm with you so far.
All right. I mean, that's off the trigger. It is. Right.
I have no problem with it. Sympathetic nervous system is no longer in play. So sure, keep your finger out of the trigger guard if you have to.
For the record, like when I'm teaching someone these rules, I teach like that. Like I literally tell them, make the webbing right there and your finger stretch out.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see me well enough when I do that? Right there. Make that stretch out, because that will keep your finger really high off. Because, you know, this is fine when you're just standing there. But if, you know, when we start really moving, you're probably going to stumble. When you trip, slip, and fall, the gun generally isn't going to be pointed in the safest direction. It probably point somewhere where you really don't want it to. But if your finger's way up like that, is a lot harder to have it press on to the trigger. It's a lot harder for it to slip into the bang hole. And I like, one of the things I first heard at tactical response is like, I want to see your finger on the other side on top of the slide like that, basically. And that's way off the trigger. But let's continue.
That's a great place because it's easy and it's safe, but it actually serves a purpose. You've been pointing at things all of your life. You've gotten pretty good at it.
I hate it every time I hear this. I'll get into why it's wrong, but this is the juicy part of the video that I really liked.
And if you put a laser at the end of your finger, if you point at something, you're pretty much spot on accurate. When you make the firearm an extension of that finger that you've been pointing with all your life, should a threat ever occur, all you've got to do is point at the bad guy, and you're pretty much spot on accurate anyway.
Okay, so the idea is that if you were to put a laser coming out of your finger, that you would point at stuff and it would just naturally aim correctly, right? Now, I've heard this before from dudes with much more training than him. It's wrong. And here's the thing, is like your eyes can see the gun in your hands. Okay. Has nothing to do with your finger doing stuff. Okay. And the funny part is when he's like, if there's a laser, it's like, okay, why hasn't anyone ever tested that? Like, 'cause I've tested it in many ways. Okay. Short gun, real gun. Like, they're basically, if you were to take a big piece of cardboard and make it so you don't see where the gun is pointing, like, how well can you actually engage with that gun? You can buy an airsoft gun and try it out. You can eventually get good at it, but it has nothing to do with where your fingers are pointing. So when people say, like, put your finger along the rifle like that, and then you point at stuff, no, you can see this rifle pointing at stuff. You don't need your finger involved in that in any way. Again, you can see the gun where it's pointing. You can get good at it eventually, like see cowboy dudes flipping out of the holster and shooting things real fast, but it's also like they're always doing that static standing there. It's like it's a thing they control that really is, or it's a drill that's in a controlled setting that's really just a parlor trick. Also,
he's advocating for a skill set that's like a 200,000 round skill set that you can meddle with, not something. If you need this video, I don't need to be knowing about fingers and natural points of aim. I need the more comprehensive stuff about gun safety.
Exactly. And that's the other thing, is this video should not be like, if I'm teaching you
if I'm
firearm
on
safety rules,
if I'm doing firearm,
it has nothing to do with like
about point shooting at all. That's not a topic.
And this is another funny thing. This is where people think, like, I've heard it before from people where they think point shooting means pointing your finger along the side of the gun to make the shooting happen. Like, don't be worried about that. Okay. This isn't a real thing that works. It's not.
This is if you've gone through a training circuit for about 5 years worth of training, and now you want to add something new that you want to work on.
Well,
this is not something I need to be even remotely thinking about when I don't know what the 3 or 4 or 12 firearm safety. I don't care. Nobody cares, and you wouldn't bring it up. In my entry level classes, I'm not bringing up point shooting. I'm not telling you if you put your finger here, there's an advantage because first of all, most of us point like so, but when most people hold their gun like so it's not even a normal point of pointing. Now, if you hold a gun the way I teach, it will be normal, but you can even see it in this picture, this still frame. His wrist is canted, so his finger's already cantered off. So
the basic thing is this shit's stupid. It doesn't work. And
that's the whole point.
And also, it has nothing to do
with firearm safety.
The firearm safety rules.
It's not a thing. You would just say, I'm putting my finger here because I don't want my finger in the trigger well in case I get spooked and go,
Now, maybe I would say it could be a fair point if you say, hey, if you practice putting your finger here and pointing it in a safe direction or at the target, maybe that could be a thing to keep your finger off the trigger, because that's a thing lots of people struggle with. But to be like, this is going to get you better at aiming, that's retarded. It does not actually work like that. Okay.
Pure
Now,
Ballistic says his training resume is right there on the wall.
No, yeah.
From his
Okay,
own
stop
company.
reading comments though. Stop reading comments. Casey, I fucking love you. He was at wrestling with us the other day, and his son was the best wrestling fan ever. It was so much fun. He was out of his seat, like
Awesome.
talking shit. It was so great.
If your finger is under the frame or, God forbid, over up high.
God
it doesn't
forbid.
really
Oh my God. How will I aim with my finger so high? Okay.
So I'm going to tell you, I put my finger somewhere else than what 90% of people do. Now, I don't teach it this way for new shooters. I don't recommend it, but I have my finger in the trigger guard with external pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
But let's just, I get that. But like, let's just keep it at talking about this. I get it, and I'm on board. But let's keep it.
I like how the whole gun is just now.
If we throw too much new info,
hang on. I just want to point out. I like that the whole gun has now pivoted itself in this super high stress situation. The whole gun has managed to pivot to accommodate the finger.
Yeah. If my finger's like that, then the gun points at the ground. I'll never hit anything.
help you. And rule number 3, always keep the gun unloaded until ready to use.
That's
so
wrong.
a lot of people.
That's not one of the rules. See, and that's a whole thing. Okay.
No.
Let me rewind a little bit.
No.
Let me rewind a little bit.
And rule number 3, always keep the gun unloaded until ready to use.
Right.
So a lot of people.
So all right, let's go over it.
I need a minute to recover.
And this is the funny part where I can be like, I actually am a certified NRA instructor, so I can go over why they say these things. But so keep the gun unloaded until ready for use. So they're saying, like, if it's ready for use, as in it's on your body or you have it staged somewhere, then it's like you have it being a purpose. Like my home defense gun, my truck gun, my backpack gun, my pants gun, whatever. All right, my refrigerator gun, my shitter blaster, all your guns that you have staged, that they can be loaded. But if it's not serving that purpose, then it needs to be unloaded. The problem with that is that the rule is treat every gun as loaded. Not we unload guns when we're not using them. Okay. And if you think about how many times you've heard about someone having a negligent discharge and they were like, yeah, and then it just went off, or then it turned out it was loaded or whatever. Okay. If you were treating the gun as loaded, would that have happened? If you think about safe gun handling, preventing risk with guns, if you just always treat them as loaded, wouldn't you inherently kind of do the rest of the rules as well? Wouldn't you be going safe direction and finger off and, making sure that when you shoot at a thing, there's not other things around it that are going to get hit, or at least you're aware of those other things? So this is a huge problem when people talk about like treat every gun as loaded until verify, something like that. And I've gone over this before. If you watch 2 videos back on my channel, I talk about this. But when you say, conditionally, we treat every gun as loaded except when, which this inherently does, then you create it in someone's mind that there's 2 states, that there is loaded and unloaded, which there definitely is. This is true. Okay. And I've trained at places and with people, including in the Marine Corps, where we would unload on purpose to point guns at each other. Cops do it all the time. Like, it is a thing. Is it safe? No, it is not. Okay. But it is a reality. Yes. Guns get unloaded, and no, you cannot be shot with a loaded or with an unloaded gun. But the problem is then people do not take it seriously because they're used to no problem. Every time I handle a gun, it's not loaded. Think about most of the people watching his channel probably are not really guys that carry a gun. He's a huge open carry advocate. Like lots of people, as soon as open carry became legal in Florida, they just now started carrying a gun. And it's really funny when you look in the Facebook groups and they're like, what holster should I get? And they're like, buy this one. It's like, fuck no, don't buy that one. That one is trash. Do not buy that one. That's the most banned holster in the training industry.
Andrew, there comes a time when you kind of realize that some of these guys who go out there and offer their advice have never been anywhere other than their small town in Florida or whatever in the back country.
Yeah.
Because, holy shit, dude. Keep it unloaded to... I don't... The fact that I'm carrying a gun infers that I don't know when it is or is not in need of use. Hence why I have it. So I'm just supposed to, what, Israeli carry?
No, he would say
the
that
magazine and then run it.
He would say if you're carrying it, that's ready for use. That's
not ready for use.
Yeah, you mean it should be in your hand, pointed?
Yeah, that's when it's in use.
Yeah, right.
It's in a passive hold right now. I'm not actively influencing it.
But that's what they mean.
So, just because, hang on. So we've got keep it in a safe direction. I agree.
Yep.
Finger off the trigger. I agree.
Just not with it.
We don't give a fuck what our target is and what is beyond it.
Yep.
And we'll just,
which is
we're just not going to treat it like it's loaded.
It's especially ironic too when you consider the video that he was freaking out about, where Sonny's standing next to the target and they're moving forward and back and shooting that target. I'll pull that up again.
Yeah, well,
right there. That's rule number 4. That's rule number 4, and it's rule number 2. I would hope that if he accidentally flagged Sonny, he would take his finger off the trigger. So that would be rule number 3. He's definitely treating it as loaded, but that's where it's like, it's funny how like the guys who are completely against downrange drills, they don't even teach know your target, what's in between, around, and beyond your target as one of the firearm safety rules.
Well,
when hugely important, especially not only like in the sense of there's going to be good guys around and you need to be aware of that and make sure you don't shoot any of them, but it's also hugely important in terms of positive identification. Like, is this who I should be shooting?
And I'm just about to point that out. Andrew, if you look just below his fucking 3 rules of gun handling, he has a poster of a guy pointing a gun at another guy.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a bad guy? Well, I put him in a leather jacket and gave him a beanie. And so therefore bad guy. But until you have positive confirmation, you don't know who that is. That's just another guy with a gun. Right?
Yeah.
His own metric and standard. You can't do this. It's unsafe.
I really wish he hadn't blocked me, because if you go to his Instagram, you can see a video. I would pull it up, but basically his question, I won't tell what the video says because you should see it for yourself, make your own judgment call. But basically he describes a story of a situation he was in recently. And then he says a thing to the guy, and then he asks the audience if he would have been legally justified in shooting that guy had that guy continued, basically, or like attacked him. Right. You should watch it for yourself. I'm gonna say no, that was really, really dumb. I wish we could talk. I wish I could show the video, but we're both blocked by him, by the way.
All of my
hey, he's still welcome to come on this live stream right now if he wants to. Like, you guys can, if you're on Facebook,
now let's get into the real
tag him and all that. He is invited. You can tell him that he is welcome to come on right now. In fact, I don't live far from him. He could drive over here to my place. No big deal. Let's welcome. Anyways, so look at, so we were talking about how he does not have rule number 4, know your target, what's in between, around, and beyond your target, listed as one of them. So now I'm going to pull up that Sonny video again and talk about that, because that's literally right there
the other
where
thing.
you apply that. You want what?
We should move on to the other thing.
Give me a minute. Let's finish this part. Okay, so right here, know your target, what's in between, around, and beyond. He's doing that. He's actually doing it. He's actually applying the firearm safety rules. So if you think about, who would you rather go into your house to save your kid when a bad guy's in there?
Fire safe.
Would you want a guy who has actually applied that rule, all the rules for real, or someone who doesn't even teach know your target, what's in between, around, and beyond? And he said, he brags about training tens of thousands of students in firearm safety.
Not well.
Yeah, but you're not teaching them rule number 4. Like, what about positive identification?
Well, I said not well.
Like, if we're not going to teach positive ID, like that, and that's where people say, like, you have to break multiple of the firearm safety rules at once to have an accident or to shoot someone. No, you can just break know your target. If you don't know your target, you shoot that target, you may regret that.
I'm gonna just use the muzzle flash to confirm my target acquisition.
Hey, there's an appropriate time for that. Guys in Vietnam, I'm not gonna be like, hey man, you didn't get positive ID. But
so I'm free to say what I want now, because I'm not gonna fight his little fucking dumb shit. If you think that this kind of training is so above and beyond, right? We've already had these discussions about this exact video 1,000 times with all the competition guys. They say there's no value to it because they believe that they can do it safer. Sure. But I know what their resumes are. They're very proud of their resumes, and they'll tell you what it is. This guy is out there shamming people, and I do mean shamming people out of their money because, well, he won't tell anybody what is your background. It's okay to say, I don't have a huge background.
Yeah.
I don't have a huge background. I teach people too. I talk with people like Andrew all the fucking time. I throw my ideas at their faces and then they throw it right back and said, that didn't stick. I have conversations with instructors. I've taken the classes, all this stuff. My background is nowhere near as big as a lot of people's backgrounds. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
There's no shame to it.
Yeah. There's people with bigger backgrounds than me.
Yeah.
But also having a small resume doesn't make you wrong. Like for anyone. That's what I have Tom on here. He just said, I don't have a big resume, but like,
I don't have a big resume. People got way bigger resumes than I do.
Like I would rather you have a solid man brain that operates on logic than a huge resume run by a girl brain.
Certificate hunters are a thing, right? I got 1 billion certificates. I don't care.
Yeah,
that means it's just pieces of paper.
I'm about to go do local free USCCA classes, I think, in the coming weeks because I got ads for them, and I'm like, why not? It's 5 minutes down the road. It's 2 hours. Why not?
Sure.
Like, and I know I've had more training than the people, because I can see their resumes. But that's fine. I've had students I've learned stuff from, and I'm like, man, that's really cool. I never heard of that, and
you have to be a student of it, of this thing that we talk about. You're not an expert. There's no such thing as an expert of violence. Eventually you die.
And the other thing too is I want NRA classes and USCCA classes to exist because the people that are taking those that only want to do that should never enter one of my classes. They shouldn't. They wouldn't have a good time.
They would stop calling it training.
Yeah.
I would greatly prefer they just stop calling it training because it's not training. That's the thing is people can get away with this stuff. Like what the competition guys do, that's training. That's training. There's a metric, there's a standard, there's a pressure, there's all kinds of stuff involved with it. That's training. These are safety courses. These are whatever you want to call it. It's not training because it's no farther than the confines of what are the 4 rules and then application of. When you go to training, first of all, usually it's going to be like a 1 to 2 day, the whole day event. you are mentally taxed with the competition guys, with the practical guy, whatever you want to call them, with the various schools of thought on it. You're pushed all day under the hot summer sun. You're usually going to expend more than 50 cartridges by the time the day is done, depending, because like with my classes and with Sonny's classes, not a lot of cartridges get fired off because it's more physically active than not. But that's training. And there's a lot of yahoos that go walking out the door and they'll look real dumb on our comments and the competition guy comments because they say things like that doesn't fit within the criteria of this gun safety course that I got sold on and scammed out all my hard-earned money out of. That's the big issue.
I would say it's still training. I just would say it's not the same level. And it's just like,
well, that's why
just like I said, these people shouldn't be in my classes, like it's just like that. There's different types of students, right? Because there is someone who's like, I grew up with a family that's afraid of guns and they're mad that I want to buy one, like I've had those students.
Right.
Too, and so they need something. And they're not going to be the person who should be, over in Texas taking fear inoculum right now. Like that would completely break them. Right.
Sure.
So, and then there's just different level students. I got some students that are fucking rock stars. And I've also had a few that sucked, I've had a few, not trying to talk shit on anyone. It's just, they didn't know what they were getting into.
And that's why I say you need to not call the gun safety courses training, because there are way too many people who think that was training. They think they're ready to get into gunfights with people based off that alone.
Well, I would just say it's a different standard, different level. It's just a much, much, much lower level that forgets rule number 4. But let's get back to this video, and I got a picture I want to go over.
Oh.
So
hang on real quick. The reason we're going after this guy is not just because he had negative comments to say about Sonny, which, I mean, let's be honest.
And refused to show his training resume when I asked him.
Yeah, that really wasn't it. None of those things really tweaked my nipples on nothing. It was the fact that he DCMA copyright struck me. You jackwagon. I got Jesus over here. I'm trying to be better. But it's the fact that you copyright struck my video off of Facebook. You jerk.
And so the video that got copyright strike on it was basically he took the audio from this guy, Andy the gun guy, talking about open carry and how it's a deterrent and the bad guy never takes the gun from the guy. And it's just that audio over footage of dudes getting guns taken off of them by criminals. One of the videos, the guy gets fucking killed after that, which I think in a way is actually like morally wrong to take that down instead of taking back what you said, but anyways, that's pretty lame that you copyright strike and then won't produce your training resume, and then
it was like 3 strikes, you're out.
Won't actually have a real
talking shit about instructors, won't tell anybody what you actually know or how you know it, and then you're going to copyright strike people who disagree with you. Just so you're aware, everybody else is now able to do that with your crap. So I don't know. Be careful who you do that.
But again, he did tell me. He told me to Google it. Okay, he told me to Google it. So maybe you guys can find his posted training resume, and you can receive the $1,000 combat art training credit for showing me that. If you can find that and show me it, including if like 5 of you got in the chat right now, okay, all right. But I'll do up to 5. How about that? But you can't just copy paste the first one. I would want to see it posted somewhere else. Okay. So up to 5 unique posts of his training resume. All right. I just upped it right there. All right, let's get back to this video.
People look at rule number 3 and they think, I'm going to keep my gun unloaded until I need it. So when there's a bad guy that comes in your house in the middle of the night, you're going to say, hey, wait a second. You're going to load your gun
Yeah, I totally agree. It should just be loaded. But, okay.
Just leave your gun
quick,
loaded.
and then engage. Right? No. Rule number 3 says always keep the gun unloaded until ready to use. Now, if that gun is on your hip, in your purse, in your vehicle, or somewhere in your
Yeah, so it's like I said earlier, I'm going to skip ahead.
put away somewhere, put in your safe, or put away somewhere where you're not actively going to be able to use it in self-defense, it should be unloaded. So in order for...
Okay, that does not need to be unloaded. You have a gun in the safe. Like, if only people, because you're treating it as loaded, right? So that's a thing too, where people are like, I never hand someone a loaded gun. What if they shoot you with it? Like, why are you handing them a gun?
Drain all cars of gasoline when not in use.
Yeah, so it's like if you're treating that gun as loaded, you would not hand that gun to that person. It's okay to have a loaded gun in your safe. That's
keep
retarded.
all knives blunt until ready to cut. Like it's a dumb thing that you only ever apply to this one particular thing to excuse your carelessness, right? And that's what's funny, right? The people who throw the biggest hissy fit about Sonny's little video there are the people who are the least safe assholes with guns.
100%.
Every single time. I made a video about the competition guys flagging the no-shoot targets. Not safe. It's supposed to be a person. And then they'll get upset because a gun wasn't pointed at a no-shoot target. Just pretend it's cardboard, guys. It's the same. It's the same entailment. It's the same logic. And you guys want to get upset because he didn't get a gun pointed at him? Fuck.
Yeah, and the reason why they're the worst is because they've never handled their guns with real consequences, right? And so that's why those are the people that flag you the most. Like, I'm not going to talk shit on any organization. It's as a whole thing, but I've gone to many training classes. You can see that in the description. If I'm not reading the comments right now, but if you don't see that, let me know, because it did a weird thing updating. I can repost it in the comments or something. But anyways, I've been in a lot of training classes, and they're not all from my circle, because if I only train with the people that I'm friends with, I'm not training, I'm masturbating. Okay, that's the thing. You should go train with people you disagree with. You should train with people who think differently than you, so you're actually learning new stuff and seeing if you're right or wrong about that thing. But when I go to the classes with the most strict rules, and they have you unload guns at certain times and stuff, I know I'm going to get a gun pointed at me. I know I'm going to watch it happen. And it doesn't actually bother me anymore. I'm like, if his finger's not on the trigger, like, honestly, it's like, yeah, I got a gun pointed at me. Okay. Not saying it's okay to do that. It just doesn't actually bother me. RSOing at the range, yeah, you're gonna get fucking guns pointed at you. I would not recommend becoming a range safety officer if you're scared of a gun getting pointed at you when their fingers off the trigger. I would recommend you don't do that job, because it's going to happen a lot. But yeah, it's always the dudes that are the most scared of that drill that Sonny did, that are like, they're going to handle their guns the shittiest. And it's because they've always handled their guns in a consequence-free environment. It's kind of like bratty kids, right? If they don't have any consequences to their words or actions, and that's also bratty adults, then they're going to continue acting like that, If there's nothing that will happen, they're going to continue acting like that.
You know why it's terrible that fourth rule is missing?
Lots of reasons.
You know why it's really terrible? I literally just had an incident.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever I say can't affect that, so I'm free and clear. And cop said I'm all set to talk about it. But I had a homeless dude pull a knife on me. Right? If I was to not think about what the fourth rule of firearm safety was, what is my target and what is beyond it, behind this dude was a street with residential homes on my left, a couple of businesses on my right, and a hospital this exact direction. It's like, so I know what my target is and what is beyond it. it's kind of important, because if I'm making shots and I miss, well, just don't miss. Shut up. Right. Or what's worse is the bullets don't work the way they're supposed to, and they behave more like ball than they do hollow point, and they pass right through him. Where does it go? It kind of matters. And it matters even when you're trying not to get cut or shot yourself. And so it's like, you guys are disregarding rules, and then you think that you can tell me what is or isn't safe. I don't know. All four rules went through my head as that was going on, because it's something I've practiced and trained and regurgitated and worked on over and over and over again through countless hours of training and practice, dry fire practice, everything else. It's like, oh yeah, I'm very safe with this thing. It didn't even clear holster, to be honest. Didn't have to. I was able to de-escalate that. Good, thanks be to God that I could just de-escalate that situation. A crazed homeless dude with a knife. I'm gonna kill you.
I told Ashley you killed them. So then I started blasting.
Yeah, I remember what I said. Close your eyes, spin. But you know, that's the thing. It's like,
was that like that meme about when they come to get Jesus and Peter's like, what?
Every slave's ear was gone. But no, that's what it's funny to me, because it's the people who are always talking about this. This video of a guy being gently nudged and having external pressures put on him, while simultaneously managing to somehow not shoot the crazed Russian guy. Like, when I first did a downrange drill, it was my literal first time taking any sort of professional instruction at all. Everything I had done before then was just me pulling guns out of holsters and pretending I'm fast, right?
Were you like, hey, fuck, I should probably be good at following these 4 rules right now?
So it was kind of like, dear God in heaven, please don't let me be the one that shoots Sonny Pazikas in the face. Please don't let me be the one that shoots Sonny Pazikas in the face. Don't let it be me. Please, dear God, don't let it. That's what was going through my fucking head when I'm just, it's that slide, it's his, that one drill he's got.
And it was also a drill that you were like, yes, I will do this drill. You weren't forced to do it, right?
No, it was voluntary. I was like, I can
like
do
every time a downrange drill is
done,
like,
I could have easily told him. I've been to classes with Sonny, without Sonny. I did a John Farnham class, who by many people's metrics is not an out there instructor. No. And I've watched students say, you know, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to walk away for a little bit.
It's fine.
And I go, hooray, you know your limitations. Yeah, that's a good thing.
If you're not ready for it, don't do it. I will say you shouldn't be carrying a gun out in public if you've never done that drill, a drill like that. If you've never been shot past a living, breathing human being, it's reckless to go carry a gun out in public and think you're going to do better. Because that, you know, that emotional reaction, that like, oh man, this is scary. That's the whole point of the drill. It's not about shooting fast or anything like that.
I would argue that it's good that you have that emotional reaction, because you know that that's something to work on.
Yeah,
right?
And that's,
so at the very totally minimum, when as a guy who carries a gun for a somewhat professional setting and non-professional setting, just being faced with that drill and making yourself more accustomed to this idea of violence and training and such like that can be enough for you to go, hey, I need to grow in my ability, or what I perceive my ability to be.
Right.
It's pure. The only person
I've seen that
you're lying or cheating to is yourself, because I don't think Sonny gives a shit if I pay him money and then just sit in the corner and cry. Right. The instructors aren't bothered by you saying, I don't wish to do a drill. The only person who is going to be bothered is, well, you.
Yeah. Now, oh fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I've been at a 3-day class where we had downrange drills. Like, I think every day there was one, and yeah, there was at least one every day. And there was a student who did not shoot downrange drills at all the first day. Nobody made fun of him. We're not there to do that. Like, no one. We're like, yeah, it's cool. He's learning.
It's training.
Then days 2 and 3, he was all about it, and he was the first one to volunteer, and he did a great job. You know how many firearm safety rules got broken?
All of them. 12.
0.
All 14.
He did a great job. And
Oh.
here's the thing. I would rather have that dude like next to me in a gunfight or going in to save my kid than someone who is like, fuck no, that's the most dangerous thing in the world. Never do that. There's never a reason.
Well,
But I'm gonna make a different video on that. I do want to just go back to this one. Do you got a quick point, Tom? Or
well, my quick point is you're creating a Pavlovian response by having the exact same reaction to the muzzle of a gun. All right. So if you're just not, I understand. We don't go pointing guns. Oh yeah, look how I'm so brave, right? But if every time you see that end, because someone did a transition, I was at a class and someone did a transition, and the rifle spun on the sling a little too hard. It was rifle's all stopped up. It's not shooting. Trigger does nothing, and the student just throws the rifle. It's like, I don't need this. I want my pistola. And because the rifle barrel had managed to stay in the air and it pointed at the people in the back row, and I'm just standing there like, yeah, well. But everyone else has this visceral Pavlovian response to go, ah!
yeah.
Like, I literally watched the rifle go, nothing. It does nothing. Huh. Oh my God. And it's like, if that can't, I hate to break this to y'all, that cannot be a actual response you have trained in your repertoire.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is, it should be full bore, right? Like,
it might be a problem later. Might be a train
run
scar.
The fuck away. Like, finish the drill then, right?
Yeah.
But doing this fake gay, oh!
Wait, Tom, run away and
yeah.
No, I was at a class once, and there was an old dude there. I ended up helping him the second day. An instructor paired me up next. Well, I was like, hey man, you want me to help him? And he was like, yeah, dude, help him. And he was glad I did that. But there was an old dude, hey, old guys run on less bandwidth. They do. Okay. It's reality. When you get fucking old, it's harder, especially if you're not actively learning and physical.
If you're not running your brain, it's just rusting.
Yeah. It is harder. Like, those guys break the fastest. So, combatartraining.com, sign up right now because you're only getting older. And
I should go to defense.com, sign up.
Buy your kill all pedophile shirt at combatartraining.com and your brutalize the heretic shirt.
Yep.
If you like Warhammer, you love that shirt. But yeah, no, like, old guys taking their first class, like, man, it's harder for them. And so this old guy, I laugh about this. It was like he was like facing downrange like this, and he turns, and everyone's like, and I'm like, I can see his fingers like this, right? I can see the tip of his finger. If I could see like through the trigger guard like that would make me a bit more nervous. I might go ahead and exercise my movement. I might even move down range at that point. But
oh man, down range is the safer spot to be. What?
Yeah, apparently down range is my movement safe direction.
Well, the thing is,
but he turned like that, and I was like, what? And then this one guy I was next to, he was like, oh my God, I almost got fucking shot by that guy. And I was just like, first time.
I attended a class, and I won't name names, but because the student is actually close to me, he's very used to doing this, the high temple index.
Yeah.
And due to the stress of the drill, what winds up happening is sometimes where you think things isn't exactly where they are, and you get really tired mentally and physically and kind of spiritually. And so sometimes you just put it on your head, and sometimes you forget to take your finger out of the trigger, and you're just doing this little number.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll turn at an inconvenient point in time, and your close friend will be staring down the muzzle of a gun.
Like a fucking death crown up in here, man.
Yeah, I would argue now is not the time for me to go, because he might get scared and crank one off while looking at while this situation has unfolded, my argumentation would be it's probably in my best interest to handle that rather calmly. So, the whole like having this visceral like reaction because it's kind of in your general vicinity, you might spook the guy alone into shooting you in the face.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I've seen it where when people went, the finger went, oh.
Yeah. Well,
but you know the problem, Tom. You know the problem.
What?
He wasn't pointing at the target.
No, he was doing the. Yeah, that's why I say a safe direction is relative.
All right, let's see if there's any more on this video, and then let's get to that picture.
Yeah.
For a firearm accident to happen, you actually have to break all 3 rules because
when you don't have rule number 4, you have to break all 4 or all 3 rules. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that again. What about just finger on the trigger? Can't something bad happen there?
If it's a 320.
No. Finger on the trigger. I mean, wouldn't an ND be considered a firearms accident? Let's look at those words again.
Yeah. Hang on. Just let it play for 10 seconds.
In order for a firearm accident to happen, you actually have to break all 3 rules because you've got to have the gun pointed at something you can't blow up. You've got to have your finger on the trigger. And you've got to have the gun loaded in order for that accident to happen. Please share this video.
Oh my God. Okay, again. Again, that's that. Oh, it's redundant. I keep my guns unloaded. So what he just said is like if you're keeping your gun unloaded when you're not using it, then it doesn't matter to touch the trigger. If you think about it the way he's saying that, that's why I hate that. That's why I hate that so much.
Because you've got to have the gun pointed at something you can't blow up. You've got to have your finger on the trigger, and you've got to have the gun loaded in order for that accident to happen. Please share.
Okay.
So then when I get a gun pointed at me, and they say it's okay, it's not loaded.
So real quick, okay. There are a lot of guns, the older guns back before drop safeties were a thing. That could just go off on their own if jostled too harshly, right? Your Colt Peacemaker was a famous example of a gun that would just go off because you jostled it a little too harshly. And that's why we were like, hey, what if you didn't just point this thing at things? Because what if you jostle it too hard, right? Because the Colt Peacemaker, and that's the cowboy revolver, you've all seen it. It used to have a hard spur hammer, which was also the firing pin. And it just kind of sat on a hammer. And so if you just kind of walked harshly, it would bounce. Now, the modern ones have a squishy one, right? It's a lever. But the way we bypassed that was load one, skip one, load the rest. That way, when you close the hammer, it closed on an empty cylinder. And when you went to use it, you'd cock it, and it would be right on the loaded. But that's why these rules kind of existed, was because guns did happen to go off on their own. And if they're dropped, like old shotguns, right? Anyone been around those really old Remingtons? They will go the fuck off if you slap it hard, right? Or the old birdshot shells that used to be made out of different primer cups. Different primer cups. Really fragile.
Old Remington 700s too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing.
Not like, old SIG 320s.
Yeah, go figure. The old SIG 320s weren't. Yeah.
The old SIG 320.
but the SIG 320 is actually an example of like there's still always this inherent risk. You don't have to touch the trigger for some guns to go off.
Watch the video I did. I did a video. It was a short, and I think I also included it in the video I did with Gary Marr about like saying that you have to look at the holster when you're reholstering is wrong. There's another video I did where I know it's in there, and it's about the same thing, but it's a short. And there's a clip there where a dude stares his gun into the holster and then covers it up like very carefully, very, very carefully. Like, what else could he have done to make it more careful? We'll get to that in a sec. But then as he's walking away, it literally goes off in his holster. Now, I'm not saying you can't carry appendix or anything like that. I'm like, when it's in a holster, that's doesn't count as pointed anymore. It's more a handling thing. But from what I have heard and what I highly suspect, because it would be logical, he had modified his trigger a whole bunch. So that's the other thing, is like dudes running around with these guns that they have turned into hand grenades.
Yeah.
That gun should definitely not get pointed at the wrong person, right? Like the dude that he snared it in, he's walking away and bang. So like that same gun, too much motion, bang, right? Because people do stupid mods to their guns.
Yeah, I knew a guy. He had an AR rifle, an AR that he had customized. Number one, his safety is one of those 45-degree safeties because it's just that much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I swear his trigger was like a 1 pound trigger. Like you breathe on it and it goes off.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole rationale, because it's always about speed, it's always about how fast I can be. You just like you loot. There's a reason why military grade triggers are as heavy as they are. If you don't think that the military could figure out how to make hairpin triggers, and if it was an effective trigger that they would put that in every gun out there, you're sadly mistaken. The military only ever really wants their guys to be super effective, and having a heavier trigger meant that less NDs were happening, which means less of my guys shoot my guys on accident. Because, you know,
but the military does have a ton of NDs because they don't treat every gun as loaded.
Because the training,
they barely ever have ammo. I'm a veteran, by the way. I get to talk all the shit on military.
I'm a taxpayer, so I can talk shit about the military still. And if you're a veteran that doesn't like a civilian talking shit, I don't know what the fuck you fought and bled and died and all that shit for, but my ability to call your training stupid. Come at me, bro.
I'm giving him the card, the pass.
Oh, is that what it Look.
All right, so let's get back to this thing.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake.
This video as a quick refresher, and then enter my community of Second Amendment supporters and daily.
Okay, whatever. All right, now
Second Amendment supporters, half your fucking audience told me I should lose my gun rights.
Yeah, I had that too. Oh, that's another point. If you're gonna tell me that I should have my guns taken away, because I had commented, if you're afraid of this drill, then you should not be carrying a gun in public. And somebody said you should have your guns taken away, blah blah blah. You know, and I went, hey man, if you think I should have my guns taken away, you should be the first man in the stack to come take them. Also, you should probably get good at this drill before that happens.
I mean,
so I got a screenshot because one of the things our friend Josh DeWalt, who is down in Texas, and he's helping Sonny out. And he's also Instructor. He's also a part of Elcar Concepts. He had commented a picture that he has that Andy has on his website. I forget the exact spot. He may have actually taken it off after we gave him shit for it. But let me grab this screenshot real quick.
He's smart. He took it down.
Yeah.
He's not smart because he copyright struck me and made quite the enemy out of me. I forgive you, by the way, but you're still a pussy guy. 1,000 ways you could have handled that, and you chose the wrong one. Good job.
Well, I was trying to keep it professional. I would just say the same thing I said before. You have no integrity or honor.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yep. I mean,
I just used less syllables and less oxygen to say it.
I said it like a man.
No, I said it like a guy who got a copyright strike on his channel.
Yeah, that is pretty gay.
That is, you know, the thing is like, he could have just written me. No, he could have just written me and said, I would like that to be taken down. And I would have agreed and said, oh, all right, thanks for asking me so nicely. But you copyright struck me because you decided I was a bad person. That's the issue. So
anyways, this is where it first got started, where he started blocking us. It's probably hard to see, but I don't know. You can screenshot it, zoom it in later. Anyways, Josh posted this picture. Let me see if I can zoom it in myself.
Isn't there a big one right there? There's a big one right there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to show that in a second. So Josh not treating it like it's loaded, a muzzle awareness much. Now, I'll show the big picture here in a second, but basically that's Andy the gun guy. That's an AR, and there's a helicopter pilot right there in front of him.
And that's his leg.
I commented, holy shit. And I said, where's the link to that? And then Andy said, Josh DeWalt, it had no barrel, bolt, trigger, control group, buffer, etc. So he's saying that this gun has no barrel, no bolt, no trigger control group or buffer. Okay. He's saying that about this picture. Now, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up other versions of that photo, which he has posted in other places. All right, here we go. So I would suggest that there is, in fact, a trigger on there that we can see right here.
Yeah.
But that's not even the final product, right? Okay. And now we can see also the helicopter pilot who
isn't that a co-pilot? Hang on, go back up.
Yeah, co-pilot.
Right there. Is that not a guy holding a camera?
Yeah, I believe so.
That is a guy holding a camera.
Yeah, I don't know which one's the pilot or whatever, but there's a dude right here who
and there's another dude right there.
Like pretty certain he has a gun pointed at him. You know, I wouldn't post that picture because it can be misinterpreted. Now we could go back in time and find out he did that exactly perfect. Okay. But he said there's no trigger control group. Looks like a trigger right there. He also has this same photo on his H30K thing. Let me replace this. Oh, come on.
Man, that's an awful lot of effort to make a rifle that don't have a barrel, bolt, trigger, control group, nothing.
So he also has it posted on his resume thing over here. Definitely looks like a trigger right there. And notice too, this image is different because it's not all whited out in the background. I'm not going to go back to it. Just you can rewind and look at it if you would like. But you can see it's a different image, right? You can see like more stuff going on. So I can see the trigger right there. And then there's one more.
Hey, you can add freehand drawing signatures and highlights with the new draw tool.
Here we go. I got it right here. All right. And then there's an even bigger one. I forget what this website is called. I think that's it. Is that it? Is that the first one I did?
I think that's the first one.
That looks weird. Wait, this is aboutme.com, Andrew Hallinan. And okay, so no, that's not the same picture. I'm showing the wrong one, is what I'm saying. Okay, so but
well, fix yourself.
That's weird. Hang on. Let me exit out some of these and see if I can share it now. Maybe I had too many windows where I couldn't show the thing I wanted to show. Oh, man, that's crazy. It's not letting me do it. Oh, wait. No, that's the other one. Yeah, because that's not about me. Okay. Well, let me see if I can work some sort of magic. Okay, there. That's the image I want to show. And it's the same one that's on the cover or the thumbnail for this. So there's that too.
I'm just looking at this thing. Is he trying?
Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay. So right there, you can see there's a trigger there. Okay. So that would be him lying. Okay. Like you told a lie. You could just say, I mean, honestly, you could just be like, yeah, I pointed a gun right there.
You know, apparently he threw it out of the helicopter.
Oh,
no, really? It was right here. Ask me why I threw an AR-15 out of a helicopter.
Oh, okay. So if we
So
looked
he's
up
about
that
to.
video, we would see that it did have that stuff. Because I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can see a fucking trigger right there. So yeah, this is why I'm like, you know, overall, this is a, you know, kind of calling this dude out. Of course, yeah, we wanted to do that, but it's also about like etiquette. So if you see a thing you disagree with, like a dude's talking about a subject and you disagree with it, send them a DM. You know, if they're posting a thing about a person or showing someone else's video, yeah, you can openly comment, you know. But if you're gonna do all that, if you're gonna like, you know, if you're gonna go and say things about other people and talk about training thousands of people, you should show your training resume. So once again, $1,000 reward
I thought it was 5,000
in train credit. No, there's 5. If you get 5 unique posts that Andrew Hallinan has done. So if you find it on this site, and then someone else finds it on this site, and someone else finds it on this site, each one of those people gets $1,000 train credit.
That's why we have
Credit.
reviews. People
Okay.
are looking for it right now.
Now they're exiting off. They're like, they're talking about gun safety. That's gay.
No, I'm bored. I'm bored. It's because I didn't get to say.
But yeah, that's it. Again, Andrew Hallinan, you're welcome. You can come over to my place. I will treat you as a guest. I have really good coffee.
Feel free to
again,
write
right
me
now
and take your copyright strike down, and maybe I won't repost the video.
I think you just should repost the video. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, it's not like it was out of context. It was just his words over a video. Of
He was upset because he's put a lot of effort into this, which is totally fine. I understand, but you cannot go out and talk smack about people and then get offended that not everyone agrees with you. How many DMCAs do I have available to me right this second? Hang on a tick. How many lawsuits I got available to me? Since we're playing it that way. Oh, I don't? Yeah. That's why it's silliness. Doesn't have to be a thing.
But anyways, that's that stuff. That was fun. I think it was actually a pretty good educational live stream at the same time. I thought it was good.
There are 4 rules to firearm safety, and they're that way for a reason. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be messing with those 4 rules. It's not there to hinder you. It's there to prevent. So as long as you follow at least one, chances are no one gets hurt, right? That's the whole intention. It's not to be perfect. It's the goal is 4, but if you're at least maintaining one of them, a human being won't get hurt, right? Know what your target is, what's beyond it. Oh, it's a person. And what's beyond that person? Another person. Probably shouldn't be pointing it here. Keep them all, treat them all like they're loaded. That way I don't hand people guns in a stupid way, shape, or fashion. Keep your finger out the trigger. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, here you go. Did you want to see that? Did you want to see it? Right? And and don't point at anything you're not willing to destroy. The whole goal is just to prevent people from getting hurt. Right? When you start taking away rules, and remember, this is also while maintaining the ability to be used. So remember who introduces the 4 rules of firearm safety. It's Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Cooper, the war hero. So he's figured out these 4 rules while maintaining our ability to fight people, because that is still the purpose of these things, is to fight people. And so when you go and mess with it and you say, just keep them unloaded if you're not using it. Well, the guns on my wall aren't used. Those are my bump in the dark guns. Am I supposed to unload those and show them clear? And then when I think someone's at the door, it's silliness. And there's no reason for it other than to attempt to reinvent the wheel, right?
From people who don't really understand how a wheel works anyways.
Well, yeah, if you think that, going back to the Sunny thing, if you think that every engagement you get into is going to be observant of a 180-degree rule, I have really unfortunate news.
I've only been in a couple gunfights,
Hyphen and zero.
And not all of them was I able to shoot because I observed rule number 4, which was really important in all of them. But the gunfights I was in, I had to shoot past people. And I didn't hit anyone that didn't need to get shot. So, you know.
Right. And this is
in fact, I don't even know if I hit anyone because I didn't go over there to check, you know.
Are you telling me the number didn't appear above your head, like plus 100?
We definitely killed some people. Like they were like, this guy,
someone died. We know that much.
You hear their radio. They're like, this guy doesn't have arms or legs. We're like, yeah, you know. Looking back on it, kind of wish we weren't in that country for those reasons, you know.
You can just easily pull up the litany of hours of body cam footage of cops getting into these shootouts with guys. And the first thing that dies is the 180-degree rule, because now suddenly everyone's really focused on not dying themselves, that the rule doesn't really matter.
Yep. You know, a quote that came from one of my buddies who is a firearms instructor for police, been doing it a long time. Amazing shooter, and he does the same classes we do also. He's from our circle, but his quote is, cops shoot the fuck out of civilians. And why is that? Because they don't do drills like that.
No.
You know? So if it's their first time shooting with consequences is when they're in a fight for their life, you know, and they're just going from 0 to 100 all of a sudden at a traffic stop. Yeah, of course, that is going to happen.
It was Clint Smith when I trained with Clint Smith. It was Clint Smith that said that I'm not going to teach you how to shoot fast. You're going to do that on your own because you're scared and there's a problem and you're going to shoot fast. That's just what you're going to do. What I'm going to teach you is how to slow down, right? And this is the truth of the matter. Almost every time I've ever looked into it is people generally shoot really, really fast when they're spooked. Because, you know, look, I've got this magic device that makes bad things disappear. And look, a bad thing. If I press the button an awful lot, right?
We need a t-shirt of someone doing that. By the way, if y'all got any comments, drop them now. Now I'm down to read comments. Evan, I want to give you a shout out. Happy birthday, buddy. I love you so much. I am looking forward to seeing you.
Birthday.
Also, come to Florida soon, please. Schedule something in Florida, please. We're about to be moving to Mayo, Florida. So tactical radio operator at our new place would be great. Don't know if that's close enough to places for you to have a good draw for your crowds, but you know, I want to hang out. I want to see you. And then also coming up, I have Aaron Little teaching here in Florida. I'm going to grab a link for
you know that. Who's live right now?
Is it? Let me guess. Is he short and look like a pirate?
Yes.
Hopefully we're getting all his views. I should post this on his alumni group. Yeah, Travis Dynamics is live right now too. We went way longer than we thought we would.
I know. Well, you know,
I was like, we'll do like an hour.
Yeah, that was the plan, but you know, then the video wound up causing physical pain to both of us, I think. Holy crap!
But Performance Edge. Let me get the link. Oh my God. All right. So when you click this link, it does this annoying thing where it's like, you got the wrong one. You have to click this one. It's the right one. Just do that extra step. But I'm dropping that right now. Aaron Little is coming down. We need to get some more people here into that class. You may be able to sign up and get $50 off still. Check that out. But Performance Edge, Aaron Little, Fight to Live, full contact gunfighting, April 18th and 19th in Bellevue, Florida. So sign up for that. Coming up, I got beginner pistol. See, I'm teaching beginner classes now. Check that out.
Hey.
There'll be 4 rules though. I might overwhelm you.
If there's not 6 rules, you're not being safe enough.
Yeah. Then pistol cheat codes and combat shotgun. And then Aaron Little will be here, and then rifle cheat codes. Sign up for that class instead of buying a nice trigger that I'm gonna just outshoot you with my shitty trigger.
Way do people find out AK triggers are better than AR triggers?
They're smoother. It's a different trigger though, you know. It's like smoother, but if you like guys double fire those all the time. So I don't know. Because I'm so used to just a mil-spec AR trigger that I hadn't shot my AK in a while. And then when I did, when I was taking, down, it's down there in the list, but it's contender carbine from Barrel and Hatchet. I was taking that and I whipped out my AK, my Norinco with iron sights, and the first couple shots I was shitty because I was so used to AR trigger. Now I'm like, damn, I need to actually shoot my AKs more often. Plus, they're cooler, you know.
AKs are always going to be cooler than ARs.
I do think we should do an AK versus AR debate though. Like, and we could maybe get on several different dudes to list their points. But my shotgun shells, he could fall. What's up, Max? See, that's the one thing that's really funny is when you use birdshot for home defense, you don't need to observe rule number 4 anymore, because if you've gathered from the comments on people saying they use birdshot for home defense and why, it's extremely effective and lethal against whoever you're using it against and nothing else.
Can I just want to bring up real quick. Okay, I have to actually. I'm obligated by some made up law that I just made up in my head. I cannot stand the most surefire thing I know that people who complain about safety issues is the people who commented on that TAC response video where they're pushing the guy in the wheelchair to help him.
Oh yeah. Dancing. What the?
If ever I knew that you slimy, and I do mean slimy, like slug slimy, just
reptilian some might say,
brained, pusillanimous, Neanderthalic cretins had no interest in anything other than filleting yourself. See, I can use really big $5 words. That video was proof of it, because I saying, like, I remember, like, every so often that video goes ape shit and people go, I can't believe that they did this. Oh my God, can you believe that this is a thing? And like, yeah, I can believe that the handicapped guy, you know, the one in the wheelchair, might actually need some help traversing gravel. Well, they should have stopped the line. Why? What was he going to do? Thanks, you're pushing me? Okay. Ah! Like,
yeah,
every time that video pops up, I just get more and more angry inside. Just like, what are you all bitching about? They helped the guy do his drill. Nobody got hurt. Like, this is how I know you guys would be really bad in a high stress situation, right? Because just seeing it through a camera is enough to cause you to have heart palpitations.
Yeah, but are they really? Because again, all outrage is fake and gay.
Oh,
you know,
my theory on this, all right, because you and I have talked about this a lot. My theory on this is it's a Pavlovian response. That's the new college word I found, Pavlovian, right? You know what Pavlov is, or who Pavlov was?
No,
he's the guy who rings the bell, and every time he rang a bell, he'd feed the dog food.
Okay,
and then so at a certain point, he rings the bell, but provides no food for the dog. But the dog still has their salivary glands engage, and they start drooling like there will be food just by the sound of the bell. So the response over time is a trained response, not necessarily the response that they intend to have. And so what these dudes are all out there running around doing by watching these videos and going, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that they're doing X, Y, Z, is they're subconsciously training themselves to have this behavior when it actually happens, right? When what you should be doing is saying, yes, that's a thing. I don't like it, but it's a thing, right? It's the same reaction I get when I watch NASCAR. It's a thing. They're driving around. And that's the reaction you should be having.
Much more dangerous than that drill Sonny did, mind you. Much more dangerous. Like, I've never seen a downrange drill that ended with a dude on fire, you know? There have been like, all right,
you haven't
gently nudge you and then fucking like a fucking car barreling
that was funny. I know this is going on a little bit, but I do want to point this out. That struck me as the funniest piece to it. Okay. Minus Sonny being downrange. That doesn't matter, neither here nor there. It was the number of comments that just couldn't wrap their head and comprehend the pushing. Like,
what if someone pushing someone got stung by a bee?
They could have stepped on a bee. but like, I'm like, I just sat there and I read a couple of those comments like, well, why are they doing the pushing? Or, oh my God, they're pushing him. It's like, well, this is the most gentle pushing I've ever
done any training classes. Let me give my opinion.
Yeah. Every gunfight I've ever been in has, first of all, a berm. That's why I don't care about that fourth fucking rule of firearm safety. Yeah. And every drill I've ever done, I get to stand here by myself and hold perfectly still. Nobody ever moves or attacks or does anything other than what I want them to do. And like, well, okay, so you don't like Sonny being downrange. Cool. Great deal. But surely you understand the purpose of the pushing, right? No, there's no reason to be putting your hands on the shooter.
I don't know.
Just ask any YouTube gun tuber instructor.
No, we only put our hands on someone if it's a cold range and they still have a gun in their hands. Then it's okay. But you have to really freak out.
I gotta make sure that my Pavlovian response is Pavlovian. Every beep I hear when I'm at the grocery store, beep, ah!
Dude, my dog has a Pavlovian response to a beep. He's like, yeah. That's because he's on a electric fence. Right? Like, I'm like there was like a cell phone noise that happened when I was training my dog the other day, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, it's okay, bud. It's okay. He was like, no, it's not. It's not. I'm going over here now. Do not do that.
Have you seen those responses on that Windrose guy's Facebook page?
Oh, yeah. Again, nothing wrong. Nothing. It's fine.
The knee one is the one that's getting me right now. He's putting the correct knee down. Why are you guys upset? Well, he can't aim very well. And like, you do know that bullets go the other fucking direction, right?
Well, it's like, you know,
it's a two-way fucking road.
Right now he's not shooting right-handed. He's shooting left-handed. So he's changing everything opposites.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So that's it. My family's here. They're running around and doing stuff. And actually, I gotta feed my dog.
I have to take care of my
before he gets the ducks.
No.
But yeah, thanks for joining me, bro. All y'all watching, check out Tom Holyby, Ashigaru Defense.
I'll make more videos here eventually. We all just got over being sick, and I've been doing church stuff, and my entire schedule got absorbed by trying not to die and trying to keep everybody else from dying. I'll get back to making videos. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll upset people with another sling opinion.
No, dude, just make a video. I'll send you. I made some flat truck gun sling. So like, I'm gonna post those to my site. I think I like it better than the truck gun sling that I've been making. It's flat webbing, so it's just a little bit thinner and it adjusts easier than the tubular one. Like, wearing it would not be as comfortable, but I don't wear my sling that often. So I'll probably send you one of those, and you may make it
running slings in CQB is a terrible idea.
Yeah,
I said it again.
Make a video explaining why it's the best CQB sling.
Sure.
Just say it's the best sling.
It's the best
And
sling.
this is how you use it. And you don't wear it when you're using it. That'd be funny. That'll piss people off. Like, no.
Not again. This stupid guy. The ashy guy with sling guy is saying dumb shit again.
That's not the way my gun tuber does it.
No, my experience with team-based operations where 14 other dudes will shoot the bad guy for me if I fuck this up.
All right, guys. Sign for Aaron Lil's class. I think I'm going to try to get him on soon. I just got to send him some dates and times for a live stream. But sign up for his class in April. It is grappling stuff, hand-to-hand stuff, knife stuff, sap stuff, and fucking gun stuff all rolled into one. Force on Force in Bellevue, Florida. It's just south of Ocala. Check out my calendar. Check out Tom's stuff. That's it. Thank you for watching. Keep fighting communism. Kill all pedophiles.
Brutalize
the heretic. And remember that training saves lives. As long as you have